I think Ye's brand has taken a major hit, one that he might not be able to bounce back from.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 celebrity scandals of 2022.
It appears to be a prosecutorial gift to a celebrity who is undeserving of such an outcome.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most memorable moments in 2022 where celebrities broke the law, broke the rules, or broke each other's hearts. We're staying out of politics for this one, so we won't be including politicians or their scandals. What celebrity mistakes were you chatting with friends about in 2022? Spill the tea in the comments. Number 10, Matthew Morrison fired from So You Think You Can Dance.
It's really unfortunate that I have to sit here and defend myself and my family against blatantly untrue statements made anonymously, but I have nothing to hide.
Matthew Morrison is well known for singing and dancing on the musical show Glee. He seemed like the perfect fit for the 2022 judges panel on So You Think You Can Dance. Not long after the first episode aired, audiences learned that Morrison was leaving the show. His press release said he'd broken competition production protocols. Sources at the show indicated that a contestant had been uncomfortable with flirty messages he'd sent. Morrison disputed this account and shared the alleged message online, saying that he was trying to connect the contestant to a choreographer that could give her a job.
Hey, it's Matthew. If you don't mind, would love to get your number and talk you through some things. The end.
Morrison appeared in the pre-taped shows, but was replaced by Leah Remini for the live episodes. Number 9, Funny Girl feud. Many Broadway fans were surprised when Beanie Feldstein was announced as the lead for the revival of Funny Girl.
By the way, you got that part and Leah Michele started trending on Twitter because everyone knew that she wanted the part.
Leah Michele had been campaigning hard for the role. She'd also famously covered Fanny Brice's songs on the hit show Glee.
Don't tell me not to fly, I've simply got to. If someone takes a spill, it's me and not you.
After lackluster reviews, Feldstein announced her departure. Then she suddenly moved the date up by 2 months. Rumors flew that she'd heard they'd already replaced her with Michelle. Adding fuel to the fire, Jane Lynch also decided to leave Funny Girl early. Was she avoiding an onstage Glee reunion with her notoriously difficult former co-star? Regardless of possible drama, the newest Fanny Brice has been greeted with standing ovations and rave reviews.
Hey, Mr. Unseen, here I
am. Number 8. Kurt Zouma Mistreats Pets. Kurt Zouma horrified animal lovers in 2022 when he kicked and slapped his cat around his kitchen. His younger brother thought it would be a good idea to film the incident and post it on Snapchat. The Royal Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals took the soccer player's pets and started prosecution. Zouma's team, West Ham, fined him 2 weeks' salary for the incident. He was booed and jeered at games. Fans of the opposing teams even brought inflatable felines to put on display. Ultimately, Zouma was banned from keeping cats for 5 years. He also had to perform 180 hours of community service. Although he was not suspended by West Ham, he did lose a sponsorship deal with Adidas. Number 7. Shakira tax troubles. The queen of Latin music had topped charts around the world. However, after her name appeared in the infamous Paradise Papers leaked in 2017, the Spanish government started investigating.
The Spanish government has made no secret of going after celebrities for tax evasion. We've had Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, and now Shakira.
Another set of leaked documents, the Pandora Papers, revealed applications for offshore companies. Shakira has since been accused of tax evasion in Spain.
Prosecutors in Spain say they will request that international superstar Shakira be sentenced to more than 8 years in prison if she's convicted on tax fraud charges in Spain.
Prosecutors claim that she hid her income and assets whenever, wherever, using shell companies. Shakira denies the allegations and has argued that since she was touring and living in the Bahamas, she was not a resident of Spain during the period in question. Prosecutors want to send her to prison for 8 years. In 2022, Shakira refused a plea deal, believing she can prove her innocence in court. Number 6. Cuba Gooding Jr. pleads guilty. Since his Oscar win in 1997, Cuba Gooding Jr.'s career has been a series of hits and misses. In 2019, he was indicted on 3 separate sexual misconduct allegations. These include groping a woman at a nightclub and kissing a waitress in a restaurant. 30 women have since accused him of unwanted touching. In 2022, he made a plea deal that let him avoid jail time in exchange for 6 months counseling. There was criticism that this leniency was based on his celebrity status.
The message he got today is that because of who he is, the rules are different for him.
He isn't completely out of the woods, though, as he faces another lawsuit for allegedly sexually assaulting a woman in 2013. Number 5. Mason Greenwood arrested. Mason Greenwood, a soccer player for Manchester United, was arrested in January on suspicion of sexual assault. Audio and images on social media seemed to show the incident and injuries. Greenwood was immediately suspended by the soccer club. They made it clear that he wouldn't participate in any way until further notice. The video game company EA Sports removed him from the FIFA 22 video game. Nike also made it clear that they would no longer work with him. Greenwood was initially released on bail. After allegedly breaching bail conditions by contacting his accuser, he was returned to custody.
A district judge denied Greenwood's bail application because of what he described as a persistent and flagrant abuse of his existing bail conditions.
His trial date is set for late November in 2023. Number 4. The slap heard round the world. Forget the movies. Sadly, it's this incident that people remember from the 94th Academy Awards.
I didn't hit you. I lightly slapped you.
As Chris Rock prepared to present the award for Best Documentary Feature, he made fun of Jada Pinkett Smith's shaved head. Pinkett Smith has struggled with alopecia and decided to embrace a new look. In response to Rock's joke, her husband Will Smith stormed the stage and slapped the unsuspecting host. Back in his seat, he told the comic to keep his wife's name out of his mouth. It was a truly stunning moment.
Wow, dude! It was a G.I. Jane jump.
He apologized to Rock a few days later and again in July. If his film Emancipation leads to an Oscar nomination for Smith, he won't be able to attend. He's been banned from the Oscars for 10 years. Smith later opened up that the past trauma he faced likely contributed to his actions, but this didn't justify them either. Number 3. Ezra Miller collects a long list of charges. Ezra Miller is no stranger to controversy.
Okay, I really don't want to talk about this again.
In 2020, a video appeared to show them choking a woman in Iceland. In 2022, the scandals avalanched. In January, Miller posted a video threatening the KKK. A few months later, they were arrested for screaming obscenities at people in a karaoke bar. That same night, they allegedly broke into a couple's bedroom and threatened to burn them, referring to the woman with a sexual slur. 3 weeks later, they were arrested for allegedly throwing a chair into a woman's head.
Arrested for disorderly conduct?
Yeah. Burglary charges followed. So have accusations of harassing and grooming minors. With Miller's upcoming film The Flash in jeopardy, a representative apologized and announced that they would undergo treatment for mental health issues. Number 2. Depp versus Heard. During this highly publicized trial, the details of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's relationship were exposed to the world. Depp claimed that Heard's 2018 op-ed for the Washington Post, in which she described herself as a victim of abuse, was false and damaged his career. The live-streamed court case was everywhere in the media, with fans taking strong positions. The jury found that Heard's published statements were false and had defamed Depp, who was awarded $15 million in damages, reduced to $350,000 by Virginia state law.
Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes.
They also ruled that Depp's former lawyer had defamed Heard.
Do you find that Ms. Heard has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes.
Depp stated that he hoped the ruling would help men and women in similar situations, while Heard described it as a setback for women. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Fred Savage gets fired. He was booted from the Wonder Years reboot for alleged misconduct.
The decision was made to terminate his employment as an executive producer and director of the Wonder Years.
James Corden banned from Balthazar. The restaurant owner was outraged at the actor's attitude towards staff.
In the heat of the moment, I made a sarcastic, rude comment, right, about cooking it myself. And it is a comment I deeply regret.
Rudy Giuliani should have kept his mask on. When the Jack in the Box was revealed, Judge Ken Jeong walked out.
I broke 1,000 hearts before I met you.
And I'm done.
I'll break 1,000 more, baby, before I am through.
Benjamin Mendy jailed and suspended. The pro soccer player will not play after multiple assault charges.
The prosecution described Mendy's Cheshire home as a place he was able to gain control over his victims. They felt vulnerable. They felt isolated.
Don't worry, darling drama. The personality clashes and publicity misfires overshadowed the film.
Harry did not spit on Chris, in fact, but that...
Only time will tell.
No, he really didn't.
Well.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Kanye West's controversial statements. As usual, Ye has had a lot to say in 2022. During Fashion Week in Paris, he wore a White Lives Matter t-shirt, a phrase promoted and embraced by white supremacist organizations. The then billionaire continued the controversy by making anti-Semitic statements on Instagram, Twitter, and in a series of interviews. His social media platforms were locked. Balenciaga, Vogue, and Adidas all declared they would no longer work with him. Although Ye apologized for some of the grief he may have caused, he has not redacted his statements.
I'm sorry for the families of the people that had nothing to do with the trauma that I had been through.
In a speech to paparazzi, he explained that the entire situation was God humbling him. But then, during Alex Jones's InfoWars, he praised Hitler while appearing alongside white supremacist Nick Fuentes, a week after the two had dinner with Donald Trump.
Every consumer of Adidas, every investor in Adidas should ask themselves, do they want to be part of a company that's monetizing hate?